All right. Thanks for connecting with me, and it's a great delight to have you all on this great platform that is the Global Mentorship Institute, and it's a great delight to have you all connecting with me across the globe with global eminent leaders. I'm once again leader Joshua Hadara, international public speaking mentor, and it's a great delight to have you all here on these moments with me. And I want you to know that everyone seated under the sound of my voice can be transition for the next level. So, on this moment with me on your environment, shaping who you are, I put it to you all that your environment play a role. Environment play a role in your manifestation. That is why you need to understand the environment you are presently. So your environment is either invading you negatively or you are invading it positively. So at this point, I'm an international public speaker and a thriving consultants in the area of purpose discovery and personal development lead and strategies. So I want you to know that at this point, the environment we found ourselves has a great influence on ourselves because we are meant to adapt in one way or the other. That is, or the other to survive. So when you change your environment, wherever you go, it's the same results because in order to survive, you will have to adapt. In order to survive, you have to adapt. So thank you very much for getting connected with me. So I can relate with this that your environment is powerful. Your environment is powerful. So I'm diving deep into this section of this of this day. So you're welcome with me. Let's stay equipped. Let's stay equipped. All right, you are welcome. So on this section on your environment, so I want you to know that your environment shaping who you are. Your environment shaping who you are. So, what's the main idea of this presentation? I want you to know that the main idea is that our environment has a profound impact on our thoughts. Our environment has a profound impact on our thoughts, behaviors, and also this aspect, what we call the overall well being. It shapes our identity, influence our emotions, and affect our physical health. You need to know that your environment is very, very, very powerful. Jamie. So I want you to understand this area of environment. What do I mean by the statements? So that I call it simple is if you don't change your environment will change you. So this statement emphasizes the importance of having or taking control of our surroundings to ensure they support our personal growth. Take control of it so that it can support your personal growth. So you need to adapt. No matter how you change your environment, for you to survive is for you to adapt. You need to understand that. So I want you to have these three types of environment. To have three types of environment. Number one is the physical environment. Physical environment. I getting the point. So physical environment, that is the space we inhabit. The space we inhabit. That is the home. When you talk about home, the workplace and the community, these are physical environment. These are things, environments we see. Are you getting it? space we inhabit. Okay, so the second one is, sorry for the background noise, the environment is noisy. So that's part of what we are talking about. Okay, that's the social environment. Number one is physical environment. Number two is social environment. Social environment, the space we is the people we surround ourselves with. The people we surround ourselves with. Number one, friends. Number two, family. Number three, colleagues. These are social environments. And the last type of environment is the emotional environment. The mental and emotional states influence our surroundings. The mental and emotional states influence our surroundings. The mental and emotional states influence our surroundings. Physical environment, social environment, and emotional environment. Now, I'm working, diving deep on these three types right now. So now we're talking about the physical environment. Physical environment includes our physical spaces, lightness, noise levels, and accessibilities. You need to make sure that you get adapt to all these areas on when it comes to physical environment so that you won't let these things change you. Whatsoever will make you a castaway, you need to cast away. That is one thing you need to understand once you are growing in this form. So, when we talk about the social environment, as a social environment encompasses relationships and social norms and cultural expectations. You are going to have this in diverse ways. That's why you need to be careful whenever you are with friends, families, and colleagues, so that you have everything that has eaten them up will not dilute you in the form whereby you won't be able to get to where you are destined to be. So the environment, the emotional environment I'm talking about is the influence mood, emotional regulations, and psychological well-being. This is emotional. This area you need to also take control of it very well, because if you are not careful, you will thought this is the only way you can just live up. So change we are talking about begins with us. The change begins with us. So what does this environment impact in us? That is the impact it has in us. This environment impacts us. When you talk about environment affects or environment, what does it affect in us? Or number one is the behavior. Your environment affects your behavior. Your environment affects your behavior. This aspect of influence habits. This habits of yours, your habits mostly motivations and productivity. That's your behavior. It affects it. Your environment affects your habits, your behavior, your motivations, and your productivity. So this aspect covers all your behavior. So that's why you need to make sure that it's either making you or it's mar you. So environment affects your moods. It affects your moods, impacts emotional states, stress levels, and overall well-being. So it affects all these areas. That's why you need to be careful in this form, and it also affects your psychological well-being. I've talked about that earlier on. So affects self-esteem, confidence, and mental health. Mental health. This environment affects so much. So that's why you need to take charge. So if when you talk about psychological well-being, that is your confidence, your self-esteem, and your mental health. It affects it. And we still have what we call psychological health. Psychological health, that is your sleep, nutrition, and physical activities. It influences your sleep, your nutrition, and your physical activities. That's the is a physiological health. So this aspect, you need to make sure that your environment doesn't take charge of you. You take charge of that environment and make use of it. Now, the influence of physical environment. And to want you to understand the influence of physical environment. How does physical environment, as a physical space, impact concentration, and creativity? Number one, when you talk about the clutter spaces, decrease focus and productivity, it clutter this area. So the influence of this physical environment, organized spaces, enhance concentration and creativity. When you have a clutter space, when it decrease your focus and productivities. When you have a place that doesn't brings that doesn't brings you to the point of realization of creativity. These are what we call clutter space. That's why you need to discover this area. And this area, what we call organized space. Organized space enhances your concentration and creativity, whereby you find the environment whereby everything needed by you are all there. You will be able to move more. There's this saying that come out of your comfort zone, for there is more. You need to understand this part. That's very, 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 very important. And what role does nature play in this aspect? What role does nature play in this area? So when we're talking about nature, this aspect, exposure to green spaces, reduce stress and anxiety. Green spaces reduce stress and anxiety, and natural light improves moods and energy levels. So that's why they we have given enough meat for us to dominate. Money, energy, energy. We have been given activation levels and time. You need to make sure that you get more to achieve more. That's one thing very important. Now, and let me give you an example of successful companies prioritizing positive work environments. Look at Google itself, incorporates natural lights, open spaces, and wellness facilities. We can able to talk about this upfront and upfront. And look at Apple itself. It designs workplaces that fosters collaborations and creativity. So the social environment role. So how do relationships influence our thoughts and habits? Positive relationships uplifts and inspire. So those who you relate with positively will uplift and inspire you, because the people in your circle will circle you, and the people in your circle will also get to the place that they are and you wanted to be. But it is only those who you work with of great mind, of likes mind, that will able to transition you. Because if you are not in the midst of those that has gone ahead of you, far ahead of you, you won't be able to get to the place you are destined to be. That's why you need to relate positively. Positive relationship will uplift and inspire you. When I talk about negative relationship, it drains energy and hinder growth. But when I'm talking about A, the second person is talking about B, and you won't be able to find life to everything you're talking about. So that's why you need to be careful with the relationship you keep. the relationship you are in, with the relationship you want to get involved in, because the environment you are is powerful. I'm putting it to you that there's nothing called progress except the taking of a step forward. It's not called progress, taking of a step forward. If you want to get to the top, you have to fix every area so are you to fit in. Now, the importance of community and support. The importance of community and support, you need to know this area. Now, when you're surrounding yourself with supportive people, they foster belongings. They foster belongings. And community engagement promotes inspiration and motivation. So, the environment you are in, you need to know what to bring to the table. Wherever you are, let them feel the impact and make sure that you engage well. Engage well. Promote inspirations and motivations. So, how can we cultivate positive relationship? How can we cultivate it? How can we cultivate a positive relationship? Now, to cultivate this area, look at seeking there's a difference between mentor and coach. It is those in which you have undergo the training, you can call them your mentor and you can call them your coach. But if you are just going following them, they are not your mentor, they are not your coach. They are just those in which you look up to. So now seek mentors and supportive peers. To cultivate positive relationship, you need to set boundaries with toxic influence. Set boundaries. Set boundaries. Be strategic. What are your strategies? Anything you are doing, what are your strategies? If you want to go far, to make sure you have strategies. Strategize. Set boundaries. Have, have principle that guides you. Now, managing your emotional environment. Now, I've talked about the physical environment. I talk about the social environment. Now, the emotional environment. If I draw the curtain close, one, talk about self-awareness. What do I understand by self-awareness? Self-awareness is recognizing your emotional state, recognizing your emotional state, and understanding its connection to your environment. Understand it. Look at everything around you and understand its connection to your environment. That is managing your emotional environment. So, how can mindfulness and gratitude practice help? This area it helps in fostering positivities and calmness and enhance emotional resilience. This area of mindfulness and gratitude, once you practice it, it helps you a lot in fostering positivity and calmness and enhance emotional resilience. This can help you a lot. So, daily rituals enhance emotional wellness. Daily ritual. Your environment shaping who you are. This is what I'm talking about, and you need to understand this area. Meditation and mindfulness. The environment you are, you need to meditate, be mindful, journaling, and also reflection. Exercise, and physical activities also help you in this area of daily ritual enhancements and emotional influence, wellness rather, and taking control of your environment. Now, how can you take control of your environment? This way we are going to taking control of your environment. Now, the first step to changing your environment, the first step to changing your environment is take inventory of your current environment. Take inventory of your current environment and identify areas to change. That's areas for change. Change inventory. This is saying if your church doesn't change your church. If you don't change, the change will change you. That's why you need to look around you. Take inventory of your current environment then identify area for change. Once you can able to identify this area, then you can able to change, become the change agents. Now, the small changes impacts can impact your life. Now, how can that small changes impact your life? Now, rearrange furniture for better workflow. Rearrange furniture for better workflow. If you are in a setting that is not convenient for you, you have to rearrange everything to suit who you are. So establish boundaries with negative influence. Establish boundaries with them and let them know who you are, what you stand for, and who to whom you are. So this area you need to integrate positive stimuli, integrate arts, music, books, integrate them. This will help you a lot. That is how small changes impact your life. Now, in conclusion, the main takeaway here so far is that environment plays a critical role in shaping who we are. Remember, environment creates, plays a critical role in shaping who we are. Now, the call to action here is that you need to identify one change to implement in your environment today. I'm putting to everyone here that you need to identify one change to implement in your environment today. This is how you can begin. This is how you can become. And this is how you can get to the place you ought to be. You have it all. You have it all. You can be in a physical deprived environment, but your mental environment can be very nourishing and helpful. More people believe their environment can change them rather than being the influence on their environment. So, in these few, we are crazy enough to change the world. That change generates enough force to impact your environment unless it will overshadow you. To generate it. To generate it. I can't change where I live right now, at least for some time, but I can definitely change where I go and hang out. So this is how you can help yourself. This is how you can change. You are the architect of your environment. You are the architect of your environment. I'm putting to everyone, if you don't change your circles of friends, your friends will change you. Another word, by products of your environment. You're a product of your environment. So the name of the Lord is a strong tower. He will run to it. He's safe from all harm. So that's how you become with who you surround yourself with. The mind comes first true. So you have to change the environment, your mind. Change the environment, your mind. I put it to you today. I need to change the environment, your mind. Change the environment, your mind. That's how you can grow. So I'm brushing the curtain close. Our environment shapes everything about us, from our mindsets, behaviors, to the decision we make daily. It plays a massive role in defining who we are. So, and how we see the world. So this is something I discovered early at as a teenager. Then, see that the people we surround ourselves with, the things we see, the circumstances we go through, all leave a mark on us. Often without us even realizing it. It's a powerful tool or powerful force that mold us into who we become. That mold us into who we become. So I'm able to ignite everyone here that the change will change us if we don't change. Thank you very much for getting connected with me. So I come your way next time. Live a life alive. You are welcome.